shadows fall dim. Cities play, shadows fall, dimming the light. Whispers grow, a rising tide. Vindicator, where do you hide? Steel is over, heart ablaze. Through smoky haze, he sets his gaze. Justice calls a burning need. A city's wounds he vows to heed. From cobbled streets to tower high, Vindicator takes to the sky. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. Whispers turn to thunderous roar.
Right, time to launch you into orbit. Wait! There he goes.
Grasping hand, he fights for freedom, takes a stand with courage born of darkest night. He ignites hope, a guiding light. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. Though battles rage and darkness reigns, hope's ember burns within his veins. He'll never yield, he'll never fall. He answers freedom's clarion call. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. A symbol etched against the moon. Vindicator rising soon.
Hello everybody, how you all doing? Thanks for all the birthday wishes, by the way. I really appreciate it. I can't answer all the comments on the videos, obviously. They're all coming in, but yeah, amazing. Well, it was a bit off the cuff, Missy Moon. I didn't actually schedule, well, I did schedule it, but it was only for 15 minutes, so YouTube probably trying to catch up. How you doing, buddy? How you doing? Craig? Steve, the ultimate mod. Good. I'm going to be bringing you some backup soon, mate. You're going to be having some new mods. I'm promoting some new mods in the chat, so you'll be in charge of them. You'll have to show them the ropes and tell them where to go and what to do, mate. So yeah, well, I'm working on communications with you, Steve, at the minute behind the scenes, so don't worry about that. We'll have to have a chat at some point, buddy. All right. But yeah, wow. You know, Advanced UK is an absolute content goldmine. They really are. Thanks, everybody. Thank you. They're a content goldmine regarding the things they're doing at the minute. I wasn't going to be doing a live stream today because obviously it's my birthday. I want to take a bit of a day off, but you never get a day off when you work for yourself. So, and this is rapidly becoming my job now, doing this sort of thing. So, you know, when you've got your own little thing that earns you money, you have to. It never goes away. It's like a small business. It's constantly there. You can't just have a day off. You have to be constantly working at it. Anyway, this little thing popped up on X, and I was just gobsmacked. I don't know if you've all seen it or anything like that, but everybody, hey, right. Let's get into this. So, Advanced UK have been making some really massive slip-ups lately. Ben Habib just can't stop coming out and putting his foot in his mouth. We had the leak the other day. The leak of him basically calling Restore Britain racist, outright racist. If you haven't seen it, I'll play that in a minute before we play the main thing. We'll get into that now, actually. Just had some really eye-opening things happen. This is what we're going to play in a minute, but we'll get to that in a minute. This is what we're going to play. Is this. Just wind that back, that's it. It's hard to see it when it's on a white background, but I can see it on this one, it's all right. Is everybody actually seeing that? See if everybody's seeing it. Everybody's seeing it. Yeah. So this was Ben Habib. This has been confirmed. He posted something into a WhatsApp chat, like an Advanced UK WhatsApp chat. Apparently, everybody was a bit confused as to why Robert Shaw, I think, is that his name? Robert Shaw, the founder of the Integrity Party, which obviously morphed into Advanced UK. He resigned and went off to join Restore Britain because he didn't like what was going on within Advanced UK. So basically, he kind of defected. When you've got the founder of the party defecting to a rival party, you know there's issues within the party itself. That's what it is. So I'll play this and you can listen to this first.
Hi, John, just ignore it. Restore Britain have gone full tilt racist and will continue.
That was it. So you can see what the conversation was about here. What's going on, Ben? Sure, a lot of Advanced supporters are confused. Thank you, boss. Many have been asking me, are Advanced in trouble? I keep telling them we are good. We're in good order. Not really though, are they, Ben? Not really. They're not really in good order, are they, buddy? Let's play that again.
Hi, John, just ignore it. Restore Britain have gone full tilt racist and will continue.
There you go. So that was that. That was Ben Habib making another absolute arse of himself regarding that. I reckon it could be on the cards. Yes. The thing is, though, this was said in private, so I don't know where you go with that because he didn't actually publish this. There's somebody else that actually leaked this online. So you could say that Ben said it in private and had no intentions of going public with it. So I don't really think you could call it libel, really, because he didn't intend to post it, did he? But this isn't the end of it. This isn't the end of it because representatives of Advanced UK seem to be intent on doing car crash interviews now as well. It's not just Ben Habib that's doing car crash interviews. It seems people involved with Advanced UK want to do car crash interviews. So we'll have a look at this. So this is here. I never thought I would see Advanced UK people saying things like, we need to show we are a diverse nation. The whole clip is very revealing and incredibly disappointing. So let's play this. Let's play it.
I don't think you can say they're the largest growing political party in history because Restore Britain was a movement before Advance UK become a party. They have had advertisement, Nate, and by doing the grooming gang, rape gang inquiry, should we say, that obviously brought light to Rupert, that grew his members at that time. It would have also
That alone, why would who in their right mind would say that? Saying that, oh, well, you did a grooming gang inquiry, that was advertising your party. It's this little passive-aggressive digs that they dig in. Trying to make out he did the grooming gang inquiry for popularity or votes. It's this tacit little dig that if you look at it forensically, you can see what they're actually trying to do and the way they're trying to frame things. And it's like, no, he wasn't doing it for votes or notoriety or to promote his party, because it wasn't even a party at the time. It was just a think tank. And to use the grooming gang inquiry in that way is disgusting, isn't it? That's just the first. We're not even into the interview yet. I think the first part is absolutely disgusting. Absolute car crash interview. The ironic thing is, later on, right? This lady Sarah, right? She's been a protester and activist outside an illegal immigrant hotel. She got arrested on a protest for illegal immigrant hotels. So what she says further on in this interview is just insane. I don't know what that is. I haven't got a clue what that is, but Sarah White is just being loyal, but she's being a bit averagely thick. Yeah. He did. We're going to get into it. Don't worry. We're going to watch the whole thing. But I'm going to stop it and add my little bits into it too. Everyone in advance has turned bitter. You would think people would be happy to have a genuine party now. Yeah, but they can't. All right. Okay. Turning Point USA. That kind of says everything, really. Sarah's mask fell off on the 20th of February when she and Richard Thompson, National Director of Advance, were being interviewed by Baraka. He called Restore the Gestapo and Sarah didn't challenge him. Right, so that's what that was on. I've been looking for that clip, actually. I was looking for that. Right, we'll carry on. But that was an immensely bad take on that situation.
Grown his membership through other things that have happened, certain people joining the party, but there are some things that need to be addressed with Restore, isn't there? And that's coming to light with
what
its supporters, Nate. So I don't know why you're doing
such as what?
Nate, do you want to respond?
Well, yeah. I mean, what are we doing? Are we doing guilt by association? What are we doing here?
No, not at all. But I think certain supporters need to be called out. So to show that your party doesn't support ethno-nationalism.
So, oh God. Right, so then she says, no, we're not doing guilt by association, but certain supporters need to be called out so the party isn't associated with ethno-nationalism. So you are doing guilt by association then. It's just awful. It's just awful. It is. The whole party is falling apart. It's just a massive dumpster fire, isn't it?
But I think they do to a certain degree. Isn't ethno-nationalism just nationalism?
Mm-hmm. No, I think we're Great Britain, and we need to show that we are a diverse nation.
That word.
Oh my God! Right, this is the bit, right? Let's don't forget, right? This lady has had diversity in her local community, and she's seen firsthand what diversity does in a local community. And now she's with this political party. We have to show this country is diverse. I think we've already been shown how diverse this country is, and it's not a good thing, is it? Coming from a lady that spent the best part of a year advocating against an illegal immigrant hotel in her own constituency. And now she's coming out saying diversity is our strength. We need to show the country is diverse. Absolute hypocrite. Wow. Sarah made a fame off the back of victimized girl is now preaching we should be tolerant after not wanting their own town. Standard lefty twat. Yeah. They may as well just fold. My advice to them is just fold. Because it's like watching a car crash in slow motion with these people. It really is now. It's like there's nothing they can do to redeem that party in the public's eyes. It's done. They should take the advice of the founder, the creator of Integrity, which became Advance UK, and just fold the party. I'll be very wary of her now. Wouldn't want to see her restore Britain. No, definitely not. None of these people. I wouldn't trust anybody from the political side to join Restore Britain from any of these parties, because Advance is quite clearly a centre-right party, isn't it? It's not a party of the right at all. It's a centre-right party, and we've had enough of that. I've mentioned this before. Thank you, buddy. Happy birthday, Vin. Hello. And it's obvious powerful forces are being moved against us. Mass haven't just been slipped, they fell off. We now see the enemy. Yeah, we do, for what they are. It's all so tiring. I'm sure Rupert isn't going to be cruel to the people that put their best foot forward, terrified of the bogeyman. They've not really put their best foot forward, though, have they? I think she wants a bit of fame. That could be in it as well. Thank you, buddy. Go and subscribe to The Blueprint UK. He's an up-and-coming YouTuber. Needs all the support you can give him. What did Ben say? Ben didn't say anything. This is a panel show where a representative of Advance UK is on it. So we'll get back to it and we'll see what else she's got to say. I've not watched it. I've only watched the first up to this point. And I just thought, right, I've got to go on live and cover this.
And
Right.
being
So
brave
then
people that have been
what would separate Advance from Blairism and globalism then?
Exactly.
And what's wrong with a nation being nationalist?
No, there's nothing wrong. What I'm saying is there are certain supporters that could be the downfall to Restore. So I would like to see them, just call some people out and show.
And the thing is, right, the minute they come out and start calling people out, they start causing division. It's not for Restore Britain to call people out. Everybody has a right to their opinion. They're not going to attack people for holding an opinion, and an opinion that's not even controversial, in my opinion. There's nothing wrong with being a nationalist and wanting to preserve your culture, your heritage, your nationality, your heritage. Is there? Nothing at all. There's nothing wrong with that. It's these people that have the issue. It's these people that need to be called out on this. It's like, well, what's wrong with saying that I'm white, English, and proud? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever from a nationalist standpoint. These people, you've got to remember, right, when they use the word ethno-nationalist, they are talking about the extremes of that. They're talking about the actual neo-Nazis, the white supremacists. That's who they're talking about. And as we said before, everything's on a scale. Nationalism is on a scale from the moderates right up to the extreme levels. And they don't define who they're talking about. Because when they say ethno-nationalist is like what Nate's just said. It's a standard term for nationalism. And as nationalism is on a scale, so is ethno-nationalism. And we shouldn't use ethno-nationalism. We should just say nationalists. That's it. It's a broad term. It covers everybody. Nationalist. That's what it is. But they have to use the ethno-nationalist term because that's the one that is, like people have said, is the boogeyman. It's the one that infers Nazis and the far right. That's why they use it. It's deliberate. Everything they say is deliberate. It's calculated as a smear. See what the chat's saying. I agree. I think we will discuss that tonight. Yeah. Thank you, buddy. Yeah. Double that. Double that, and you'd probably be right. No, actually, no, it's not double that. Yeah. If you said what 26, said 26, then double it, then yeah. But thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you, mate. Notice most of these clowns live around London and Essex areas. First places in Britain to fall. Yeah. There's no actual coincidence in that, is there? It's almost as if once you get big enough public profile, you get a visit from a shadowy organisation inform you that unless you promote diversity, they will kill everyone who care about. Yeah, it does seem that way, doesn't it? Sarah keeps finding ethnites and cornflakes. Yeah, she does. They all do. If the English don't remain a majority in the homeland, then it's no longer England. Yeah, that's what they don't understand. It's literally not controversial to say this in any other country on the planet. It isn't. It's only in this country it's controversial to say that you want your country to stay majority ethnically white and English. Somehow that's racist in your own country. They wouldn't be saying, would they actually go to like places in Africa, like Zimbabwe, and say, you know what, this place needs more diversity, and they go out to their countryside and say, you know what, this countryside is way too black, need more diversity. They wouldn't dream of saying that in those countries. It's because gradually over time, it's like what Dino Bain says, people have been conditioned. There's been social engineering taking place in media, online, news media, TV programs, stuff like that. Social engineering to make people feel ashamed of being proud of who they are as a nation, as the English they have. Why do you think? I don't think I've seen any council in England that actually celebrates St. George's Day. I know we don't. I don't think it's ever been celebrated in my hometown. There's no St. George's Cross flying on the town hall, which it should be. It shouldn't really be the Union flag. The Union flag should only really be flying on buildings that represent the Union, in my opinion, which would be the House of Parliament, Buckingham Palace, and places like that. Everywhere else, all the other town halls in England, they should all be displaying the St. George's Cross because that's the flag of the nation. That's what I believe. Or at least both. The St. George's Cross should be the central flag. The Union flag should be at the side of it, if they are going to do it. If you go to the home nations, if you go to places like Wales and Scotland, they have their home nation's flag flying on government buildings. Why don't we in this country? It's just the gradual eroding away of tradition and culture. It's what it is. And this is what we're all fighting against. And this is what these people think are racist. It's not. We're actually fighting for a right to exist as a people, aren't we? That's what we're doing. They don't seem to get it though. Carry on.
That they're not in.
Well, it's interesting. I was speaking to someone senior in Restore Britain last night because there's a lot of accusations that have been coming the way of Restore Britain, but there are a lot of falsehoods that are being put out there about exactly what they're saying, because no spokesperson for Restore Britain has ever said that, for example, a non-native would never be able to stand for the party. I'm told that actually isn't Restore Britain's position because apart from anything else, it's actually against the law. So I think Rupert has made it clear that he isn't racist and that the policies are not racist. Now, in terms
Even
of
if that was the case, that's not a racist policy.
Racism.
Well,
No,
like, to
I don't
expect
believe-
Britons to be standing in
I don't
Britain,
believe
that's not
Rupert's
nation.
racist.
Ethno-nationalism has got nothing to do with racism.
I don't
Remember
believe.
Brexit.
I
Remember
don't believe
Brexit.
Rupert is a racist. I'm not
Everyone
saying.
wanted to kick out the Polish people. They're bloody white, but we had loads of
what-
problems with Polish people. I love you.
Look at
Polish
what's happening
people.
now. There's this
Don't worry
divide.
about it.
Even on this panel, there's this divide between CivNat and Ethnonat, and it's all a
just-
lie. It's all fake and
it's just
gay.
national-
Well, no, I
Right.
don't.
It's
I
just
don't
nationalism.
agree with those terms. I've been very clear
Right.
that I don't agree with the terms. But what I'm saying is, I'm putting the point from Restore Britain officially that they are, because Sarah, you're saying, well, some of their supporters have been saying this, but the position from Restore Britain very clearly is that they haven't taken an ethno-nationalist position, and that they are not saying that non-natives could not stand for the party. Now, Nate and Calvin, that might not go far enough for you, but I
Right,
guess
I think they should. Right. They should say if you're not British, you can't stand in a British election. That should be the law.
Yeah,
of the-
yeah. What,
and of course that is, don't get me
Yeah,
wrong, that is what
100%.
some of their supporters are saying. Like Lucy White has been on this show saying that. Connor Tomlinson has been on this show.
I'm glad that Dan Wootton's actually come out and clarified Restore Britain's position, because now she looks a fool. I wish this is what would happen on GB News with that interview with Charlie Downs. Now, that wasn't his fault. That was an ambush interview. Obviously an ambush interview, that one. But at least the presenter here is clarifying the actual party's position on things and not trying to muddy the waters or trying to portray the party as something that it's not. Because, like quite rightly, as he said here, as Dan Wootton said here, yeah, they've not said anything about ethno-nationalism. So if they're not saying anything about ethno-nationalism, why do they need to come out and apologise for people who are saying things about ethno-nationalism that aren't even a part of the party? And I'm not saying that ethno-nationalism is a bad thing, but we have had some people from the extremes of that. I'll use nationalism. From the extremes of nationalism, like Stephen Laws, supporting Rupert Lowe's party. Now, because Stephen Laws is supporting Restore Britain, that in no way is a reflection on what the party stands for. It's not. It's guilt by association. But these people think that Rupert Lowe should come out and apologise for other people. It's like it's not his responsibility to do that, because he doesn't associate with them. You know, association is a two-way street. You know, those people can follow and associate with Restore Britain, but it doesn't necessarily mean they associate or support them. It's a two-way street. And I've said this before in my live streams. Have these people actually thought, right, oh, well, you've got ethno-nationalists, you've got extreme nationalists following Restore Britain. If you look at it from the other point of view, they're actually de-radicalising people. They're bringing people from the extremes of these things back to a right-wing perspective, an actual right-wing perspective, which is de-radicalising them. What would these people rather have these people do? Go and form their own party, some kind of new neo-Nazi white supremacist party, and support that? Or come down and be de-radicalised and support a plain run-of-the-mill actual right-wing party to de-radicalise them? But these people don't see it from that point of view. They think that, oh, because these nationalists, these extremist nationalists are supporting Restore Britain, then Restore Britain's going to automatically become like them. They never look at it from the other perspective, do they? But because Steve Laws supports Rupert Lowe, doesn't make Rupert Lowe Steve Laws, and only thickos think, yeah, well, that's what they're proving, Babs, isn't it? Hello, by the way, how you doing? It has, mate, unfortunately. Sorry about that. Steve Laws is not extreme, or he would never vote Restore. This is what I'm trying to say, though, right? He is extreme, but he's coming down from his extremist stance to vote for Restore Britain. He's going to vote for less extremist views, so it's de-radicalising him from his viewpoint. Do you understand that? Because Steve Laws has openly said that he wants to deport all migrants. He wants everybody gone. He wants Britain to be 100% white, which is never going to happen, by the way. It's not going to happen. He wants to deport everybody. And that's not the stance that Restore Britain is taking. They want to reduce the people in this country that aren't integrating, not take out the people that have integrated, like Stephen Laws does. So when a person like that comes to Restore Britain and decides, you know what, I quite like their policies, that's de-radicalising people from their extremist viewpoints. Right, let's carry on with the video.
Saying that, but it is not an official Restore Britain policy, at least at this point. I'm just clearing that up.
That's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, this whole game of playing guilt by association, it's clownish, it's infantile. Oh, you've got to denounce people. This is what people were saying about reform, denouncing Tommy Robinson. It's just it's clownish. It's absolute clownish.
No, and I totally agree with that. I had Peter C. Barnes on last night, and we were having that debate, and I was saying we don't want to become reform, where actually Restore Britain feels like it has to come out and condemn a supporter because they have taken a position that is a little bit more extreme. I agree with that. But Sarah, you're saying that actually Restore should be tougher.
I'm just saying that there should be a little bit more clarity. But on respect to what we was talking about with Advance, I'm loyal to Advance and I'm standing with Advance. And when other people have said and they've called Rupert out for starting a new party, I always said he was well within his rights to start a party. You know, I think that too many people are getting involved and name calling and things like that. All I'm saying is for Restore to go forward, it might be better for them if they were to clarify things and call out the people that are deemed to be.
Right, you know where the clarification is? Do you know where Restore Britain's clarification is on all this? On their deportation policy. So all you have to do is go to Restore Britain's deportation policy, and there's all the clarification you need. There's a very lengthy deportation policy that goes in depth, very in depth, step by step on who would be deported, how they would be deported. That's all you have to do. That's all the clarification they need. And that's all Rupert Lowe would need to say. If you want clarification, go read our deportation policy. There you go. All it takes is a little bit of research from people. And that's sadly what's lacking in this country is research. People think that you should be responsible for providing all the information to them. No, get off your arse and do some research yourself before you open your mouth. Be informed before you have an opinion. That's the best stance to have. But unfortunately, some people think that you owe them all the information without them doing any of the work. It's not the case. It's not the case at all. They don't want clarification. They want capitulation. Don't fall for this. Yeah, I agree with you. That's totally it. Because what would happen, right? What would they do if Rupert Lowe came out and said, look, I apologise for these people that are following us, that hold these extreme beliefs? They would immediately jump on him and say, ha, look, he is guilty. So he's doing the right thing. Rupert Lowe is doing the right thing and staying quiet. He's not going to criticise people for holding their opinion. It's their right to do so. It's their right to follow whoever they like, whether these people like it or not. All Rupert Lowe has to do is, this is our policy on where we stand on these things. That's it. Doesn't need to go out and apologise for other people that he's not responsible for. He's doing the right thing and staying quiet. He absolutely 100% doesn't need to come out and apologise for other people's opinions that he doesn't hold himself. It's ridiculous to suggest that you would. She's definitely a disciple of Habib, demanding condemnation and policy information. Yeah. Just go and do it yourself. Go and read about it. If she'd have actually have read the deportation policy and the immigration policy, she wouldn't even be on this panel because she'd been informed and she'd know where their stance actually was, and she wouldn't be making this crazy argument. When you let Inman run things, then it's over. Yeah, well, enough of that drama. Thanks, Steve. Thank you. Don't forget to thank Steve as well, because he's an absolute bang-up moderator. He does a fantastic job. He really does. And he's very informative as well. He's like a living encyclopedia. If I need to know something, he just drops it straight away. He's amazing. How do these people actually claim to be anti-establishment? Tory, Reform, and now Advanced are all the same wheelhouse. Yeah, it's because, well, what they all got in common? They're all in quotations, they're all centre right, aren't they? That's what they've all got in common. Right, let's go and watch the rest of it.
Being racist. You know, but as I stand as Advance is we are going forward. We are staying strong. We will, I believe that we can succeed.
Delusional. Absolutely delusional. No, you're not. Your numbers have stagnated in October. You've not got above 40,000. I hear every day from my subscribers that they are finding it hard to cancel their memberships. You're hanging on to them, just like Reform does, because they don't want a big, massive exodus of their numbers. So they're making it as hard as possible to actually leave Advance UK. And if you think Advance is going to be around in a month or even 2 months, you're delusional. They're not. They've tanked it. They've absolutely tanked the party. You're done. You coming on and doing an interview like this just adds to the dumpster fire. You're just pouring more petrol on the flames and just, pardon the pun, advancing Advance's demise. That's what you're doing. Why are they so dead against it? Why, and moreover, are they so clearly scared? They've been overtaken, haven't they, Gobster? They've been totally overtaken by Restore Britain. It took them completely by surprise. I mean, they were saying, why didn't you tell us that you were going to launch? Why should they? They're a rival party. Why should a rival party tell another party when it's going to launch and let them prepare for it? You know, Rupert Lowe wanted to hit the ground running, obviously. And he did it. You know, it surpassed them in a week. It took them 9 months to get to 40,000 members. Restore Britain got to 100,000 in just under 2 weeks. They're now, I think is it 111,000 members now? And they say, we're going to succeed. No, you're not. They're just going to become another dead party. Another dead party floating around in the pond that's got no momentum, that is just empty. That's what they'll be. Sad, but they've done it to themselves. They've got nobody to blame but themselves for this.
I think that falls into the trap of where politics has been for so long, and that everyone's just petrified of being seen as racist.
Yes, let's not do that to each other on the right, because it's what Reform UK are doing, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're a neo-Nazi, or Layla Cunningham saying I'm far right. I think we've got to be really careful about that, because personally, I don't believe having the discussion as racist. I don't think someone would say that it was a racist policy in the United States of America to say that the president has to be born in America. So I think it's important that we have this debate without throwing the racist term around. But it's an interesting one, because obviously that is what Reform UK are now doing as well.
And that was that. I would say that anybody that has a dual nationality passport can't hold public office. They shouldn't be allowed to hold public office. Not allowed. Me personally, I would say no foreign nationals. No foreign nationals allowed to hold office in this country. Bit extreme, but we've seen what happens when foreign nationals do take up office in this country. Look what happens. They've taken over all our councils. I agree. I 100% agree with Rupert Lowe's red list. where he would immediately stop all immigration from countries that, and I've looked at them, they're all basically Islamic countries. He says, no, we're not going to have these. Sorry about that. I've seen your views evolve over the past few weeks, Vin. I think you're truly getting it now. Keep up the good work, mate. Thank you. And thanks for the donation as well. Much appreciated, buddy. Thank you. Is that the super sticker? Thank you, Southern Blue. Thank you for that as well. Been looking at them all. Thank you. Yeah. I think it's been a journey for me. I've been on YouTube for about 20 years. So when I first came on YouTube, I would consider myself on the left. Now this was before the left became absolutely radical and batshit crazy. I would have considered myself a classical liberal at one point. And as the country has progressed the way it has, I've shifted through the different points from being on the left, centre right, and now to where I am firmly on the right side of politics. That's just a personal journey for me over the past 20 years. And that's just because of the way the country has gone. I've seen the slow progression of the takeover of this country by certain demographics. And you can't deny it. You cannot deny that it's happening. Look at our councils. You know, what was it? The statistic, I think it was 75% of all mayors in England are Muslim. Councils where you can go into a council meeting and you won't be able to understand it because it's being conducted in Urdu. In our country, this isn't multiculturalism. It's nothing of the sort. Multiculturalism has failed. What you're looking at is the slow colonization of this country, slowly but surely. When the native population starts to become a minority in its own cities and towns and villages, there's something very seriously wrong going on. And that began my journey through the political spectrum because of that, to where I am now. Because I'm a patriot. I want this. Hi, mate. I want to thank you because you've given me loads and loads of shout outs and I've not given you enough exposure for that. I'm really sorry, mate. I really am. But I thank you loads. Hey, Foster, you want to go on again? Great stream yard now. Nice one. But thanks for that. I don't know what you're talking about, but thanks for that. Right. Hang on, try and get this one up. Here we go. Bisbee. And that 75 doesn't include those towns that have previously had a Muslim mayor. Yeah. No problem, mate. I really appreciate it. We've seen what happens. I mean, look at the Green Party. Look at that clown that is the Green Party MP for Denton. I know it's a big area. I forget what the other part is. It's Denton and something. I always forget what the other part is, but I always remember the first part, Denton. It's like, look at the absolute clown show that's going to be now. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Freedom Dad's amazing. Go and subscribe to him. He's awesome. That's the one, Steve. See what I mean with Steve? Steve's amazing. Gorton and Denton. Well, is she actually an MP or is she just a councillor? I'm sure the chat will tell me. I think she's actually a MP if I'm not right, man. You're talking about it wasn't like that in 1999. No, I remember. I grew up in the late 70s, 80s, and 90s. That was my childhood. And I remember the golden times. I mean, obviously, we had those troubles, but it wasn't as bad as it is now. You know, you could walk around pretty much safely without the threat of being stabbed by some maniac. This is how rare stabbings were when I was younger. It was national news. If there was a stabbing, it would be national news. It'd be on all the front page of all the newspapers, all the press were covering it because it was that rare. Now it's an everyday occurrence. It's every day. We've become desensitized to it. And I look back at old footage from the late 70s, 80s, and 90s. And when you look at that footage, you see how much we've actually lost. You really do. We have to fight now. The enemy are in clear view. What we're facing is clear. We must fight for our country and freedom. I can't disagree with that one little bit. You look back at the footage from the late 70s, 80s, and 90s, and you can clearly see what we've lost. Majority white people in all the towns and cities. And again, it's not racist to say that, because that's the way it should be. That it should be a majority in these towns and cities. Immigration should have been a trickle. A lot of people think that it's illegal immigration that's the problem. It's not. It is a problem, but it's not as a big a problem as legal migration. People think it's in the low thousands. Oh, there's only like 70,000 people coming a year, legal migration. No, it's close to 1 million. It's close to 1 million people coming in every year, sometimes more than that. And that's just via legal migration. We've got these people just rubber stamping all the visas and bringing them in. It's a real issue in this country. We're only a tiny country. Why do you think our infrastructure is at the brink of collapse? You know, there's some places where they're predicting there isn't going to be enough drinking water because the population has exploded so much. Visa overstayers are out of order. Yeah, they've got nobody to police it. Student visas are a huge problem. Most of them don't go back. And then they bring the families in. They can bring their families in on a student visa to come and stay with them. And then once they've been here a long time, they're given indefinite leave to stay. There are millions of foreign nationals claiming benefits. They all care about is extracting wealth and resource from our country. Yeah, and I was talking about this the other day, because what happens is they get on the benefit system and the majority of that money goes out of the country. They send it back to their native country. That's where it goes. It doesn't stay in here. The wealth doesn't stay in the country. That's what happens. It's a kind of money laundering. They just bleed the country dry slowly. That's gone. Right, so what I'll do is, I'll do what I always do, because I've run out of things to say. I'm going to invite people in. Anybody who wants to come in that's not been in before, you're quite welcome to do so. Come have a chat. Even if you disagree, even if you agree, you're welcome to come in. The only thing I ask, these are the rules. Before I bring you into the live stream, you'll be backstage. Once you're backstage, only thing I want you to do, show your face, just to make sure you're not a troll. Once I've seen your face, you can come in the live stream. They're the only rules. Also have your audio ready. Okay? I'm only asking for people that haven't been in before. All right? So don't be offended if I don't invite you in. There's the link. I'm going to post a link to Tom's new video, 00 News' new video, because he brings up some interesting points about arguments that have been made recently about how certain individuals completely ignore the right wing and just jump straight to the far right regarding politics. It's a really good watch. You go and watch it. I'll post it later in the community section of my video. Go and watch it. It's really interesting. He brings up some really good points. Thank you, buddy. No thanks, got out of the bath. I ain't put my teeth in yet. Yeah. Yeah, you enjoy your bath, mate. Some of the comments. We've had 20,000 come tomorrow from my hometown. Got all new house, got all local jobs. and they seem to be driving around in 80 grand cars. Strange, yeah, very strange. Right, if you want to like disguise yourself before I bring you into chat, you can do so, mate. If you want to turn your camera off, just all I want to do is see your face. That's it. Give me a thumbs up if you're okay to come with your face showing. Just put your thumb up, mate, if you want to come in with your face showing. You give me a thumbs up. I won't bring you in until you give me a thumbs up to show me that you're okay with showing your face, mate. I can't see what you're doing. Right, he's gone. He's gone. He's gone. Somebody did come in. I'm just having a look at some of the chats if there's anybody. I wonder if people like June Slater were for the Uni Party all along, or she's too deep now to abandon reform. Yeah, she can't abandon reform now. If she abandons reform, yeah. You could have come in, mate. What I was asking you to do was to give me a thumbs up and I would allowed you to come in. Did you have your audio sorted? So Vin, you wanted to turn the camera off. Yeah, that's why I didn't let you in, mate. That's why I didn't let you jump in. Because if you don't want to show your face, I don't want you to be, exposed or anything like that. Mark Sinclair, are you okay to show your face on camera, mate? Give me a thumbs up to the camera. Yeah, right, okay, mate. Bring you in. How you doing, buddy?
All right, mate. It's Freedom, Dad. How you doing?
How you doing, mate?
I'm good. How's you?
I'm great, mate. I'm fantastic.
Let me just get the headphones in, mate, just so I'm not getting any kickback from this. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you all right, mate. Yeah. To all of the people in the backstage, I will bring you in individually. I just don't want too many people in the live stream at the same time. All right. I will bring you back in, yeah? Just stay there and I'll bring you in eventually. Okay?
Yeah. So a bit of a carry on over there at the minute. I'm good, mate. I'm just like over here in Northern Ireland watching what's going on in England with a wee bit of concern, as you can imagine, being a unionist. I was on Paul Thorpe's show as well, talking about it. Just trying to make sense of it all, mate. You know what I mean? The division when we need unity. If ever we needed unity, it's right now. Like,
I think that this might be controversial. I think there's certain people in the movement that just want division, mate. Because I don't get it either. It's like we've had people talking about unity, but then when they get unity, they don't want it. It's got to be unity on their terms, sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's like that's not unity. Unity is when you put your differences aside and you unite anyway for the common good.
Sometimes I think like you're starting to realize now you're seeing like Leicester and Birmingham, Luton, Rotherham, Rochdale, London, like being replaced, and these are cities that are never going to be English again. Sometimes I think everybody's panicking right now. It's as if it's just sprung it on them. They just realised what's happened. Do you think that's the case?
I think what it is, the Overton windows shifted and everybody's suddenly just like, it's glaringly obvious now. It's broad daylight and it's shining down on it. It's like, whoa, when did this happen? Because before, let's face it, you'll probably know where you live as well. It's been very taboo to talk about these things. Not everyone's been able to talk about it. The minute you start talking about it, you're a racist, you're a fascist, you're a Nazi, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I think you'll probably agree with me. There's nothing wrong with wanting to preserve your own race within your own country. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong. There's nothing controversial about that. I said this before. Every other country around the world, they're allowed to do it, except here in our little group of islands.
Exactly. If I was like, I've got a really close friend that was born in Hong Kong, and she was just born there. She's an Ulster girl, you know what I mean? But even if she was there, she would never be, she would never be classed as Hong Kong, you know what I mean? She'd always be a British girl or an Ulster girl, you know what I mean? Because she was born from an Ulster parents, you know what I mean? It is controversial right now to talk about, but I think it needs to be spoken about. I think we're at a stage now, especially for us in Ulster. Like, I do videos going, these guys are coming over. I believe they're getting citizenship through a traitorous government. When we talk about legal and illegal, I always say, well, some of the legal ones have been given citizenship through an illegal government, a traitorous government, not illegal, traitorous government. So in my eyes, it still makes them illegal. And what I say in my videos and to the people when I'm talking on the streets is they'll never be Ulster men or women. And that's not being racist or far right. We've got to distinguish this because we're not paying ourselves enough attention. We're not respecting ourselves enough. And a lot of people, I'm not listening to a lot of people talking about diversity and inclusiveness and how good we are and how kind we are and what lovely people English people are and how lovely we are. And that's our downfall. That's our downfall. Empathy is our downfall, and we can see that now. And we need to snap out of it. It's not being bad or cruel. It's all we want to do is make sure the future of our children and our grandchildren, same values, goals, traditions, and cultures that we have lived through. That's all we want. And if we keep being so inclusive and being so kind and have so much empathy, we're going to lose it all. We're going to lose it all.
If you look at what the Islamists have done, they've taken full advantage of our tolerance. When really
100%.
we need to draw a line in that tolerance. Say, right, fair enough, we're tolerant of people to a certain extent. The minute you start trying to make special demands of us and trying to supplement your culture in place of ours, that's when we've got an issue. That's not going to happen. And hopefully Rupert Lowe is going to be one of these people that says, nah, we're going to throw all the old rule books out. And it's like you either integrate or you know where the door is. It's that simple.
Yep.
Follow our rules, follow our way of life, respect our culture and our traditions, and we will have no issues. The minute you start trying to make special concessions for yourself in a country that isn't yours, we're going to have a problem. That's why
see, what I see with England as well, you know, it's been going on for a long time, and that's what they've used. They've used the empathy of the English people, the kindness, the generosity. And with us in Northern Ireland, I always say to my guys, this is our 15 years. This is like, I talk about England in the last 15 years, how things have changed. And, you know, the government's changing. You got Muslim cities run by Muslim-run councils. You've got the Green Party coming up. And I'm saying to my guys, this is our 15 years. It's not as difficult for me because I've got the evidence of what has happened in England. I've got the evidence. I can go to Luton, go to Rotherham, go to Rotshill, go to Leicester, go to all these cities. Look at these cities that are no longer ever going to be English unless there's some sort of mad remigration, like an ice effect that's in America. But I've got the luxury of having that to show my people. This is what this diversity gets you. This is what inclusiveness gets you. This is what empathy gets you. You know what I mean? So we're fortunate.
Go on, mate. Go on, carry on. I'm just going to bring some more people.
We're fortunate because we've got the evidence of what's going on. Where England, you didn't really have the evidence, mate. You know what I mean? You didn't have that. You didn't have nothing to show your people. Listen, this is the result of what happens. We're lucky enough to have that. Unfortunately, it's on the downfall of yourselves, which freaking breaks my heart as a unionist. We love the union. Even Protestants and Catholics. We got Protestants and Catholics coming together over here right now. Because of what's going on in Ireland, like this things. I spoke outside the post office, which was the Easter uprising in 1916, a really important part of the world in Ireland for the republicanism and the IRA and everything that's fought against me. And it has an ex-lawless prisoner. I spoke outside there to the Irish people at a wave of tricolours that to me, growing up, was my enemy flag. And I got cheered and clapped, and I get so much love from the Irish people. As an ex-loyalist prisoner, as a unionist, this is unheard of.
I've been saying this, right? This is what we need to do as the home nations. All the patriots at the home nations, every single one of them, we all need to come together and fight this common enemy. That's what unity is. Forget about these centrist idiots because they're the ones that cause this problem. The appeasers, the ones that I don't want to be called racist or anything like that. Stuff that rubbish now. That's out the window now. They've used the word racist, fascist, and Nazi to a point now where nobody's those things anymore. It's meaningless. They're all meaningless words. It's like, but we're standing here. We're going to take back our country. No matter what these people say, no matter what they want, we're taking this country back. It's ours. It doesn't belong to these people. Yeah.
I hope so, mate. I hope so. It's an uphill climb. I see Dino being in, so I'd like to pass it over, hand the floor to Dino being.
All right, Mark, how's it going?
No bad, mate. Good to see you, mate.
Dude, what happens, right? You're saying like we're going to take this country back. I have a strong suspicion that before Labour capitulate or before the next election comes along, they're going to naturalise every single person in this country.
Yeah, they're going to go scorched
They're just going to.
Yeah, I reckon.
And
they are
then
as well.
what's and then we'll have the people, the fake patriots, the plastic patriots, come out and say, well, we can't deport them because they've been naturalized. We have to at least give them a chance. And then the whole narrative will be around sympathy and empathy and letting these people stay just for a while, just to see how it goes. And honestly, guys, like there'll be such a propaganda push to keep these people in the country. The same as we've seen throughout these years, every single chance that we've had to reduce immigration or vote against it, there's always been appeasement. There's always been this thing. Think about the children. Remember when like it was starting to kick off and suddenly there was that dead kid on the beach? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that fully, yeah.
They're happy to use children when they need to. Like, oh, look at the children in the dinghies. This is what happens if you try and send them away. This is what happens. We need more safe, legal routes into this country. They never stop. And when that failed, during COVID, they just imported them by stealth through the airports. Hundreds of thousands of people.
I'm going to say this as well. Our channels are going to become even more important over the next few coming years because we're going to be the voice, because the mainstream media is not going to cover this. We're the only ones going to be doing it. And this is why we're under attack at the minute from all sides. It's because they can see that we are truth sayers and we're just telling it how it is. There's no editing. There's no agenda. It's just like, look at the country. It's a burning dumpster fire. What we're going to do about it. And
can I just say,
like
as Dean O'Brien was talking about using the children, they done it in Northern Ireland. They brought children from Gaza over, to get healthcare. Now our healthcare over here is we've got ambulances queuing up. We've got people not making it to get operations. We've children not getting operations, but yet, and it was difficult for me to have this like opinion because I was saying, well, no, we should be putting our own kids first. There's 55 Muslim countries around the world. Why Northern Ireland? Why the 6 counties of Ulster? And this is what they do. I believe that they were using. This was a starting point of more to come. You know what I mean? And it is difficult. Dino being it is really difficult when they use that kind of thing to get us to open our doors and open our minds to it's okay for us to bring other people into the country, use our national health care while our own people are suffering and not getting the operations that they need.
Well, they did the Gaza trick to the UK as well. They said, okay, we're just going to bring the children.
Well, we are the UK. We are the UK. I have to stop you there.
Sorry.
Okay,
well, you're talking about Northern Ireland in particular. I'm talking about England. Okay.
Right, okay, fair enough.
They said the same thing. They would bring them over, but they were just students. And then it turned out that the students also needed their dependents, and the dependents also needed their family members. And it just kept on ballooning. And they're going to do the same thing with Iran. I got a load of kickback for this, but as soon as like the Iran thing kicked off, I was just like, this is awful. This isn't awful because I love Islam. This is awful because this is going to open the door to absolute hundreds of thousands of migrants flooding through Europe again.
100%.
It's the same story.
It's not just that. It's not just that, though, is it? It's not just that. It's like we shouldn't be involved in these foreign wars. We've got enough problems in our own country instead of concentrating on this bollocks overseas. It's like Ukraine. It's like, why are we even involved in that? We shouldn't be nowhere near it. We should be nowhere near these foreign wars. We've literally got people just on the streets in our own country. Our infrastructure's collapsing, and they're all saying, let's just give loads of money away to all these people. And it's like our own people are just suffering all the time. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we involving ourselves in this? It's just frustrating to see it all the time.
It's the same trick. I mean, I coined it as malicious altruism. It's where they manipulate your own empathy against you. And they use the language of the Sumerian, what is it? Samaritan? The language of the Samaritan, right? The good person, the Christian, the good Christian. Open your door, open your borders, let these people into your lands. They've done nothing wrong. They just want to integrate. They just want to be part of you. They're coming from these countries where they've got nothing and we've got everything. And all we need to do is welcome them into our hearts. And when they start stabbing people, it's because we didn't love them enough. It's bullshit.
I like it as well that they can't see the connection, Iran activates all its foreign terrorist cells, and all of a sudden we've got a sudden epidemic of mental illness. It's crazy.
And a lot of people, like a lot of people in the comments, they always say, "Oh, you need to read about the Kalergi Plan. You need to read about the Battle of Europe or whatever it's called." It's like we know about this stuff. The reason we don't go on about it all the time is because it paints a picture on our back with the tech monopolies that are owned by these people that don't want us to talk about it. So yes, we can link the dots together and we can like reference things and we can be analogous in our analysis of the situation, but we can't often really directly say, well, it is this thing, because that's going to get like when you deal in definitives on YouTube and you don't offer ambiguity, it gets your channel taken down. It's as simple as that. You cannot say that something is happening. You have to say, well, you know, this is what I think is happening. These might be the people in charge. This might be the thing that they're doing, but I'm not 100% sure. You can't actually just go out and say, well, yeah, we all know what it is. And it is this thing that they've been talking about for fucking ages now.
I want to cover that as well, right? Because people who don't have YouTube channels or don't have content on the YouTube channels don't understand the thin, narrow boundaries that we have to stay in between just to stay on YouTube. And it's like, well, why aren't you talking about this? Why aren't you talking about you don't go far? It's like, I literally can't go far enough. If I go over that line, then the message gets lost. And what's the point in that? I lose my channel and then the message doesn't get out. I have to try and do it in a certain way that you read between the lines so you know what I'm talking about. But sometimes they don't get that. It's like, yeah, it's lost on them.
Oh, there's a lot of things that's lost on people. Who's the new member, by the way? The guy in the corner.
I'm going to introduce him. Hello, mate. How you doing? Let's get rid of this. It's Average English Man. So, what's your perspective on this, buddy? How you doing, buddy?
My perspective, the problems that we're all facing, the people in Northern Ireland, the people of Scotland, the people of Wales, and the people of England are facing the same problems. It's the British establishment that are causing all this. And I'm sorry to say this, but to set point this across the unionist, it's the union that's killing the UK. Like before we was a union, we was brotherly kingdoms. We all agreed to stop fighting each other. Then the British establishment formed a political union. But after World War II, invented British Nationality Act 1948 and then started handing it out to the dead empire because they knew what was going to happen. The people were going to end the crown because the crown got behind Churchill and sold off the empire to fund a war that we should have never been involved in. Why the fuck did we side with communists? Like we sided with communists to fight fascists to hand over an empire, to then invite the dead empire into the country to prop up the crown, to then shit all over the native population of England, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. Like so my gran was Irish. She said it was a British isle, not an isle.
So what, you don't get right. So just let me talk. Right, what would have your solution been during World War II then? Would it have been to join Chamberlain and appease Germany?
Not to get involved. If I could go back in time, I would tell my 5 great uncles, do not sign up.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, we didn't really have a choice but to get involved. Hitler was marching across Europe. We didn't really have much of a choice, mate, did we really?
Yeah, he was in France. He was in France. We would have been next.
Yeah, Hitler gave, like, how many peace offers to the UK?
Right, let's cover that. Let me cover this, right, because he also had a mutual non-aggression pact with Russia, which he eventually broke. So any peace agreement we signed up with Germany, he would have broke. He'd have waited till the opportune moment, which was a tactical advantage to him, and he would have invaded this country and taken over, like he did with the rest. So
I don't really think, guys, I don't really think it matters what happens in the past. It's happened already, right? We've just got to deal with what we're living through right now.
Exactly.
I don't believe the union itself is a problem. I think there's a bunch of traitors and quislings that have fucked up the country. If we can actually, I think this would solve a lot of problems. If we can give the English their own constitution, that would bring back power to the English. That would allow us to sort our own country. And then once we sorted out our own country, got rid of the swamp, that would heal the rest of the union. It's difficult to fix something when at the very heart of it, you've got a nest of rabid vipers that are trying to destroy it.
Have you heard of Graham Moore and Anna Debussy? Like Anna
Debussy, I've had Graham Moore on my channel. Yep, he's into the Constitution, so he has.
Yeah, we have a Constitution. Anna Debussy, before she died, pointed out that the English in the UK and the Welsh have a right to bear arms as written in our Constitution.
Yeah, but that's been overridden by modern laws, mate. It's been overridden by modern laws. I've explained this to people in the chat before. it exists, but it's been overridden by the Firearms Act.
Yeah. The acts and statutes apply to the British, not to the English. They apply to the imports, not to us.
That's the point. That's the point, mate. We're not represented anywhere.
Yeah, so we need to stand up as Englishmen, just solely Angolais, and claim our rights.
But how would you go about doing
that?
Right,
when you don't stand up for your rights.
How would you go about doing that?
It'd take every man standing up outside his local council office and saying, no business happens now. I'm sorry, you're not coming in or out of that building until you recognise us and our rights. You don't have to be violent about it. It can be perfectly peaceful as our ancestors were.
Yeah,
you only got the right to vote because of Manchester men with their wives and their children stood in a park, and then the British Crown got on horseback and started slaughtering them, and that caused the entire nation to go on strike.
I think the issue we have in this country is people just far too comfortable. They're too comfortable in their lives, and they just don't care. Yeah. And the only time they will care is when it's right on their doorstep, and it's going to be soon. Because look what's going to happen in April when Rachel from accounts as policies come into play. It's going to wreck the country. The economy is going to tank, and that's going to hit everybody.
What Dino being saying as well about it is down to England. Like there's no two ways about it. As an Ulster man, I mean, I speak to my politicians and the ones that will speak to me, and they're wringing their hands and sitting on their hands and saying we don't have any power. You know, everything seems to be involving around Westminster, the Crowns, or everything that is the heartbeat of the Union is in England. So we can't do nothing over here. We've got no power. You know what I mean? We don't get. First of all, we don't have enough politicians. We've got Sinn Féin running amok right now. They don't even want to sit in the Parliament. So it is down to English. It is down to you guys. You know, we are relying on you to get this right. There's no two ways about it.
I'm bringing somebody called Stephen Ward in now. Hi, Stephen. He's been on before. What have you got to say about all this, mate?
I kind of agree with the gentleman with the on my right hand side. What you were saying about the English and British, or a British citizen, are not the same thing. They're not. We've literally been sapped out of our brains to think that we're something we're not. You know, and we have got a constitution, and he is right. It applies to the English. We do have right to bear arms, but unfortunately, like the Act of Settlement, they've retracted all the important parts that were put there for a reason, for the safety of the people of this country, and they've taken them out. And Mr. Rupert Lowe, I do believe, will void the lot of them and anything attached to them, and bring us back to the original rights that we should have in this country as living men on the earth. That's what we are.
It basically needs to repeal everything back to when Tony Blair came into power. That needs to everything from that point needs to be repealed to get some kind of control back.
Yeah, I know it's been said before, but you know what he did? The first thing when he got in power, he got rid of the death penalty for treason. So they knew what they were doing.
They did.
They knew exactly what they were doing. Because
I think
what was coming down the line.
I think what you're trying to say about the union, it doesn't do what it says in the tin. It's like the union has brought us together to control us, whereas if we were all separated, we'd be able to make our own decisions and work together and trade off each other and all the rest of it. The union was created by the establishment to control us all. And it sounds crazy because at the union you would think coming together, but really it's not.
It's to be corrupted.
I mean, when you think about it, right, if you got rid of the union, you could replace it with a coalition of the home nations or something like that to bring it back into our control again, rather than alignment. Alignment. Yeah.
Prior to the union, we was brotherly kingdoms. Like Scotland wasn't in the union. Wales was the first nation to start the union. The first king of England was a Welshman. Like this was the entire start of the process way back in the day. Like we don't have to be against each other. Like I have nothing against my Irish cousins or my Scottish cousins or my Welsh cousins. Like we are the same. Like we all share a little bit of the same blood. Like the Irish have interbred with the English for how many generations? Same with vice versa. Same with the Scots. So
you know what? It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that because this is what the people don't get when they say anybody can be English, anybody can be Irish, anybody can be Scottish, anybody can be Welsh. It's that fact there that we have all got the intermingled blood within us that gives us this connection to the islands that we're on. Yeah, and it's like they don't seem to get that. It's like with the ethnicity comes with a DNA kind of aspect to it as well, and they think that's racist. racist to say that. Anybody can be English. No, you can't. You're not English.
I mean,
Vindicator, I think
Sorry,
you're giving them too much credit there. I think a lot of these people that feign ignorance, they're subversive agents. They're doing it on purpose to muddy the waters. They know exactly what an Englishman is, or a Welshman, or a Scotsman, or someone from Northern Ireland. They do this and they fake this childish ignorance where they're like, but what does it mean to be English? What does it really mean? And you just stare at them like, what the fuck are you talking about, mate? You know exactly what it is.
I covered this the other day.
They're doing it on purpose.
I covered this the other day in the Money Mork video. It's like when Charlie Downs was in that interview, he should just turn it straight back on and said, can I be Ghanaian? Can I be ethnically Ghanaian? And just put her on the spot, turn it back on her, and make her look ridiculous in her argument.
Yeah, they've got no comeback because the blatant, obvious facts of the matter. It's like they can't. It just doesn't compute in their brains. They just cannot see the facts of the matter. Like you said, you can't be born in China and you can become a citizen. You can become a state citizen.
You'll never be a Chinese man.
But you can be from African descent and represent England, but you're not English. You're never going to be English. So, and this
did you notice, Stephen, did you notice, by the way, Rupert Law's reply to Tommy Robinson when he asked if Ian Wright could be represented within Restore Britain? Rupert Law didn't say he could be a member. He said he will be represented. There was a subtle, the language that he used there was very clever. He said, yes, of course, he can be represented within Restore Britain.
Which is the logical conclusion, basically. I mean, you're talking absolute facts and common sense. You know, when you flip it the other way, they just can't see it. It's bizarre. I mean,
I watched Daniel Bain's video on it. Go and watch it. It's amazing. With Tommy Robinson, it's like he gets asked a question in an interview. What is Britishness? It's not white. It's like, what do you want about, mate? What? Straight away. It's not white. It's not white people. It's like,
so can I just ask Dino Bain, do you think there's a possibility that when they're talking about ethno-Nats and people who are proud to be English and you can only be English and all the rest of it, so we know the definition part, is it? Do you think that what they're trying to do is they see a situation right now where they want the other ethnics to vote for them? They imagine where Muslims will maybe vote for the right and all these people, and that's why they're saying, well, if we don't include them, like Nigel Farage says, we've got to take Islam with us. If we don't, we're in trouble. Do you think there's a possibility that they're just afraid that there's not enough Englishmen to actually get us over the line?
There is.
No, I think it's.
Dino,
go ahead, Vindy.
Go on, mate. I'll answer. Yeah.
No, I think they're using the same tactic that the left used when they were trying to convince everyone that a man could be a woman. Yeah. They wanted they wanted apathy, a cognitive dissonance to like settle on the public, where they're unable to accept even basic realities. It is the exact tactic of communists to tell you that the opposite of something is true. Like in everything, war is peace. A man is a woman is a man. A child, it has the autonomy to chop off their cock, but they're not old enough to vote or drink. It's like weird contradictions that are designed to mess people up in their head, to make them question reality to such a point where they don't even know whether they're allowed to say they're English. Like that is the ultimate psyop mindfuck to take away your identity. And I think it's all done on purpose. I think these people that feign ignorance, they're part of the grift. They know what they're in on the joke, whatever you want to call it. I don't think any of this is done by accident, guys. No. I think it would be incredibly naive to think that this is all just something that is spontaneous.
It's not spontaneous. It's not spontaneous at all, is it? Not at all. This has been planned. This is a coordinated attack on the English identity and even other people's identity, the Welsh, Scottish, the Northern Irish. It's an attack on all of us simultaneously.
The entire Western world, is it not? You know, it's the entire Western world. It's not just, it's happening in every single country. And can you fit? And now they've caused this war. You're going to get a lot more people coming from that neck of the woods over into Europe again. They wanted to destroy the Western world, mate. And they're, you know, and the two hardest nuts to crack, it seems to me, is us and the Yanks.
That's definitely right. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around everybody. I'm going to let you all give your final words and try and wrap this up because it's my birthday. I didn't expect to stay on this long. but yeah, just give you closing. I'll start with Irish Dad. Give your thoughts on what you think. And
freedom, dad, mate. Freedom, dad.
Mate, I'm getting old.
That's your birthday. It's your birthday, mate. That's your birthday. I'll not take offense.
Yeah. But as soon as you reach 52, mate, that's it. Brain cells gone. That's it.
Listen, it's just like I'll just keep saying this. You know, I implore you guys over there, for the sake of the union, for the sake of our future, for our children, you know, for our cultures and our traditions, you know, you have to come together. There has to have been some recognition, you know, of all the right-wing parties. There's so many now; it's getting silly, and it's going to. We've got no chance. The left are laughing at us. You know, reform. I call reform the new Labour. So I'm not even going to put them in the category of any right-wing political parties. But guys, it's, you know, my message to anybody that's listening to this: please come together. You know, I'm a unionist. I've been brought up in Northern Ireland in the Troubles. I've lost a lot of friends fighting for the cause to keep the union. We fought the IRA, who's trying to get the Brits out, still trying to get the Brits out, still causing division by bringing Irish language in, taking the union flag down off City Hall, raising a Palestinian flag. We've got so much going on over here with our own problems. And you guys, we rely on you guys because we can't do nothing. Our politicians can't do nothing. It's down to you guys. So I basically begging you, you need to come together. That's me, guys. So thanks for having me on, Vindicator, and have a really good birthday, mate.
No problem, mate. Thanks
Dino
for
B and rest of you guys. Thanks very much, guys. Take care.
Thanks, buddy. Right, Dino, do you want to give your closing thoughts, mate, on what you think we should be doing?
I'm going to be a bit more positive. I think they've made a massive mistake by coming after our identity. It's going to be the great unifier, and it's also going to allow us to see who the quislings and the traders are. Anyone that tries to tell you that you're not English, anyone that tries to take away your identity is not on your side. That is the line in the sand. That is the red line, guys. That is the one thing you can never let them push you away from. You have to constantly tell them to go fuck themselves every time they say that you are not English or someone else from Ghana is English. It's just, that's it. Simple. You're my enemy. You are trying to take something away from me that is absolutely forbidden to be taken away from me. And that is it. You will know straight away whether someone's on your side if they start saying slippery little shit like, well, what really is English? That's it, guys. You know now.
That's it, mate. Thank you for that, Dino.
Happy birthday, by the way, mate.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, buddy. And thanks for the shit. Dino was the one that originally started the kick-off for this channel. He's the one that gave me my first shout out, and I really appreciate it, mate. Spot on, buddy.
Take it easy.
No problem, mate. Go on, Stefan.
Just to say many happy returns to the day, Vin. I hope you have a good one today. But I'll just basically want to emphasise this point. I think that Rupert Lowe, I've been disenfranchised with politics for a very long time, decades. And I think the way that he speaks, the way he conducts himself and what they've tried to do to him speaks volumes to me. I haven't put my tick to anybody. But I think if this man continues with his rhetoric and the way that he's carrying on, I think he is literally our last hope to have any sort of political solution to get our country back. And I urge all to give this man a chance because he's an honest man. He's not a perfect man. He doesn't take his wages. What does that say about a man? He doesn't take his coffers off the taxpayer. And for me,
you know what, Stefan, right? All these people that are trying to sabotage Restore Britain are really advocating for civil war. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they don't realise it. It's like this literally is our best hope for peace that's left on the table. After that, all bets are on. Because the one thing we don't want, that I should have brought this up, is we definitely don't want some kind of coalition between the Green Party, Liberal Democrats, Labour, or any configuration of the mainstream parties. Because that's the end of the country. We're gone. We're gone after that.
Yeah, they're all the same. Like I say, reform establishment. The Tories in disguise, and the two lot are in that corrupt houses of Parliament now. We know their game. We know what they do. They know they're just acting, playing roles, And the real puppet masters, the ones that are controlling the shit show, these are the people that need to be held to account. All of them for what they've done. It's quite clear. The evidence is there to show that these are treasonous traitors, and they should be punished for that 100%. But we need to get behind Mr. Rupert Lowe, and I think, like I said, he's our last hope. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say on the matter. Have a good day, Vin.
You too, mate. Thank you.
Hello, mate.
Brilliant, mate. Right. I guess it's your turn.
Thank you for having me up, Vindicator.
No problem.
That's what I said. There's only one party on the right for me, and that is Rupert Lowe. Like everyone else is centre to centre left to far left. I will not be voting for reform. I will be voting for Rupert Lowe. And if it isn't Rupert Lowe in my area, I won't be voting for anyone. Like, I will not be putting my tick in any box unless I have got restore. Restore is the way. And that's what people should listen to Graham more.
What I would say to people is spoil your ballot, write on none of the above, stick it in the thing, because it starts to be counted. And so if you can show, I do not.
According to Graham Moore, you're right. I do not consent. Ashby versus Welby, 1776. There's been case precedents set in the court of law that we can not consent, and we can cause a constitutional crisis if enough people do not consent, which means there can be no government.
I think that's the way forward.
Happy birthday, Vindicator. Go out and get yourself a nice tea, get yourself a drink, enjoy yourself. Take care.
And you know what? The fog's lifted. It's a nice day, and it's going to be awesome. So thank you, mate. I really appreciate you coming in and having a chat. It's been amazing. All right.
No, thank you for doing everything that you're doing, and I'll keep following you and keep liking and encouraging people to come over. Take care.
Just while you're in it, I'll plug the interview that I'm doing on Monday with Paul Burgess. He was an ex-member of Advanced UK College, so he's going to be coming in and spilling the beans about all the ins and outs of what was actually going on within Advanced. So everybody's going to have a better perspective on Advanced Party and what it's actually about. And I don't think it's going to be good.
Monday, yeah?
That's on Monday, mate. 12 o'clock, 12 a.m. About 12 p.m. Sorry, 12 p.m. Monday. Yeah. Me and Paul
I'll get myself some biscuits in and sit down and watch. I'll be in the chat. Thank you very much. Take care. Have a nice day.
There's going to be a Q&A after it. So if you want to put a question in the chat, put a question in the chat. All right, mate.
All right. Thank you very much. Take care. God bless you.
Buddy. See you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you later, mate. Right, guys. I want to thank. You know what? I need to cover these. How do you cover that? I don't have to get the super chats up. I've got a super sticker from Southern Blue. Thank you, Southern Blue. I can't get it up on the screen, so I don't know how to do it. I'm going to have to learn how to do all this stuff, but I can't do it at the minute. It's stopping me from doing it. But yeah, thank you for everybody that's given me super chat stuff. Like, I really appreciate it. Wasn't expecting that, but thank you very much. I don't do it for that. I do it to inform you guys about what's going on and stuff like that. But yeah, people like you just get banned because you're not allowed in the chat anymore, right? That's the new rule. Steve, if you're still modding in the chat, if you see any people trying to cause drama about Claire Bear, Paul Thorpe, or Richard Inman, just boot them straight away, mate. You've got my permission to permanently ban them from the channel. They're not allowed in the chat anymore. If they want to continue the drama, they can continue the drama on their own channels, but not here. We're done with that now. We're done. We're done and dusted. It's gone. Okay. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. That's right. The ban hammer. It will be coming down. No more drama. Oh, if you've got a legitimate argument and you want to come in the live stream and debate, got nothing against that. But if all you want to do is go on, like people have been saying, EastEnders drama or Coronation Street drama, not interested. That's not what this channel is about and never will be. All right. Thank you for coming along, everybody. Really appreciate it. And I shall see you all soon. Hang on. Steve's saying, VSB, okay, I've noticed the person you banned. Yeah. In future, Steve, anybody comes in causing drama or mentioning the Paul Thorpe, Richard Inman, Claire Bear drama thing, ban them. They're not allowed in the chat. They can go and cry about it somewhere else. Coward. Not a coward at all. Yeah, Lincoln Min X06 can be banned as well, Steve. Get rid of that person. New beginnings, new starts. If you're going to come in with insults and that, you're gone. Simple as that. This channel is a credit to Vin and his mods. The channels are fair to people. Very rare nowadays. Yeah. I allow people to come in. If they've got an argument, they're fair. But if you're going to just throw insults in the chat, then you're gone. Simple as that. Gone. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Don't forget the debate. Well, it's not a debate. It's an interview. The interview on Monday with Paul Burgess, the ex-member of Advanced UK College. It's going to be a very interesting interview. I'm going to be having 00 News in with me. It's going to be a joint interview with us two. So it'll be very informative. So go out and enjoy the sun. Okay, guys, enjoy your day. And thanks for all the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. See you all soon. This is Vindicator signing off.